Honourable Minister Didiza, Minister Gordon, Minister Creasy, Professor Tuli Madonsela, Mr. Vali Musa, Dr. Willem Pretorius, other speakers, delegates, and fellow farmers, ladies and gentlemen. Vandag is 'n dag waarna ons verslag gee oor die afgelope jaar se doen en late. Maar omdat dit my laaste geleentheid is om met u te praat, wil ek so 'n bietjie in die toekoms kyk. Ek wil dan graag hê dat die jaarverslag as gelees beskou, alhoewel die geleentheid sal hê om vrae te vra daarom. Ladies and gentlemen, every now and then, whether you read the newspapers, whether you listen to speakers, whether you talk in agriculture or in business, the word sustainability comes up. What does it mean? Because what we first think of is economic sustainability. But we farmers know that sustainability is much more than that, because it also has to do with the protection of our natural resources. It has to do with the utilization of the natural resource base. And then obviously it also has to do with social responsibility. And when we talk about social responsibility, we talk about all the stakeholders in agriculture. We talk about the people who work for us. We talk about government. We talk about business as a whole. And we talk about how we go about building South Africa. Now, the history of the land issue since 1994 has become a major topic. It's always been one. It's always about ownership and land reform and transformation. And when people talk about land reform and transformation, in a certain section of the population, it's like waving a red flag. And therefore, I like to borrow some words from Dr. John Purchase and Wandile Silobo. When they talk about transformation and land reform as inclusive growth, and they talk about patient capital. Now, it's obvious that we have non-negotiables, because we believe that private property rights and the willing buyer, willing seller principle is non-negotiable. We believe that because this is the cornerstone of economic growth. But over and above that, we also have to find some solutions. The current challenges in our country started off with words like radical economic transformation. We know there are a number of bills before Parliament that has to be discussed and decided on. We know that changing the Constitution to make expropriation with nil compensation possible is on the table. We know that there is amendments proposed to the expropriation bill. There's lots of talk about custodianship of land. There's a deeds amendment bill which would make it possible for other rights to be registered. There's a land courts bill which could make mandatory arbitration possible. And then we also have labour tenant claims. The question that comes to mind is whether we can serve agriculture, the country and our members by being on the defence at all times. Up to now, this has not really worked. It's good and well to go to court and to use the courts on matters of principle. But fact is that we also have to find solutions to these questions. The question comes to mind whether good plans have been put forward. And of course that has been done. But plans alone is not enough. Implementation is key. Many farms in the market. There are many farms in the market. Government has bought vast amounts of land that is not now being utilized properly? What good reason there can then be to try and legislate to make land reform and transformation happen? Things that come to mind is obviously fixing of the past, and then affordability also comes to mind. The question we must also answer, whose responsibility is this? The intellectual capital to farm and the knowledge how to do this is with farmers. The backbone of agriculture and business is the family farm or business. It is in the national interest to protect family businesses to utilize the intellectual capital for the benefit of all. We should not create so much insecurity that we export the intellectual capital by way of immigration. Already, although everything that I've said so far is well known, we seem to be bogged down by all kinds of distractions and small politics. To get to the answer, whose responsibility is it to address these challenges, it may be prudent to ask if the responsibility excludes anybody. The next question is whether the broader structure of organized agriculture has the means and the will to support a vision that will result in inclusive economic growth. Why is the progress so slow or close to non-existent and based on making a noise, whipping up emotions, and delivering little? I'm convinced that the track record shows that after 27 years, nobody can be happy about what we have today. Uncertainty about private property rights, diminishing collateral value of land, poverty, food insecure communities, a population that is growing faster than the economy, security problems, and climate change all work together to create a climate of negativity. I think we agree on the non-negotiables about private property rights. So we agree on the what. Let us get to agree on the how. How do we get inclusive growth? How do we make it possible for new farmers to enter agriculture? How do we utilize the blended finance scheme? Let us change what must be changed. How do we make things work and deliver results? If we do not do this, we surely will lose what we have. A country with a failed agriculture is also a failed state. We as farmers also have the responsibility to make things work and not to leave implementation to those who do not have the knowledge and expertise to make decisions and implementation on our behalf. It is not about advocacy alone. It's about shaping the future of agriculture. Enabling is about shaping the future, and we say that we enable farmers without prejudice. I need to express my sincere appreciation to have been part of Agri SA and to trust that many people had given me the opportunity to lead. It has enriched my life. I leave with being confident that we have the will and the means to do the right thing and to play a meaningful role in making our country an example of how challenges can be met and solved. Thank you very much.